everybody. Welcome to the 2026 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. The final race of the weekend. It's come around mighty quick, hasn't it, Louise?
It really has come around so fast, and I think as it's come around, the temperature has risen. So it's very sticky floors right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. There's been a lot of rubber put down over the course of the weekend, and just walking through the paddock out here, we've realised just how sticky the track is, right?
Absolutely. I would give that a go and see there's a few tyres sticking to the ground.
Yeah, and most of Goodyear's stock is now around the circuit. Obviously, speaking of Goodyear, we have the Goodyear Wingfoot Award this season. Now we've passed race 3. There's going to be 3 drivers that have been shortlisted. If you head to the Instagram page of the championship, then in the story highlight, you will see the capability that you have to vote for your driver of the weekend for the Wingfoot Award. I think it's great because it's not just about overall performance and who wins each race, but there's more to it, like the sportsmanship side of things.
Yeah, I think it brings in the community of the fans really nicely as well, and I think that's what it's all about with any sport, isn't it? It's like motorsport. It's really lovely to get the fans involved and get their vote. So I'm really excited to see who's going to take it on top there. We don't know.
Yeah, the very first Goodyear Wingfoot Award in this championship. It's really, really exciting. And as Louise mentioned, there's more behind the scenes to this rather than just the racing trucks themselves. And I actually had a good chance at the very start of the weekend to catch up with Franz Stylberg and David Ash from the FIA, the technical delegates, about what goes into our wonderful racing machines. I'm here with Franz, the technical delegate of the FIA. Franz, great to see you for another season of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Just to put a bit of technical emphasis on these wonderful machines that we have racing on the circuit this year, what could you tell us about what makes these trucks different to a truck you would see on a motorway or a road-going truck?
Yeah, well, just happy to be here as well for another season. These trucks are actually purpose-built race trucks, but they are coming from the road legal truck. So cab, chassis rails, engine, axles, brakes have to come from a road legal truck. They need to be redesigned. Obviously, they can be altered to obviously accommodate the racing purpose. But if you just look at the inside of this truck, you can obviously spot the difference to a normal road legal truck. You can see this is a proper racing vehicle, purpose-built, roll cage, a lot of electronics. It's just a proper racing machine. In technology-wise, these chassis have a subframe as well to make them stiffer, because you need a racing vehicle to be stiff. It can't be flexible like a normal road truck. Engine, the position of the engine is altered as well a little bit, to work with the center of gravity. So definitely purpose-built.
And David, coming to you, great to see you. Obviously, it's an industry that moves very quickly as well on the road and on highways, but obviously in motorsport as well, they need to continue moving forward. What is it like from your perspective trying to spearhead that sort of push forward in development?
Well, we're trying to balance what the championship can handle as far as the teams are a lot of family teams, so we can't expect, we don't want them to spend too much money on new trucks. So we're pushing the development mainly on safety items, and we're also on road relevance and sustainability, because the European regulations are going in this direction, so we have to go in the same directions to stay relevant to the current.
And sustainability isn't just about fuel, is it, as well? Obviously, there's a number of other components that can be considered sustainable, which obviously mixes in with the ethos of the championship.
Absolutely. Obviously, we think of fuel. We have the HVO fuel, so that's totally sustainable. Goodyear, our partner, has done a lot of work on the tires to make them sustainable. So we have a lot of items that we'd like to take from the road to make, again, trucks more sustainable for the long term.
Well, it's a fantastic bit of kit. Thank you very much for giving us your time today, both of you. And we hope you enjoy the weekend.
Thank you.
Cheers.
It's great. It's getting insight there, and we are gearing up for the final race of the weekend. Everyone is in very high spirits, I think. It's very warm as well, but I think we're going to get straight into it. I'm sure nerves are high, but also excitement is also there. I mean, the paddock has been absolutely wicked as well, so there's definitely atmosphere boshing around the place. But I'm just going to have a quick chat with Steffi Hahn before we start. Steffi, how are you feeling?
Yeah, my feeling is good. Last race of the weekend, so I hope we can finish on the podium. This is the goal.
Yes, and how has the racing weekend been for you as a whole? Has it been good? Have you enjoyed it?
I didn't understand it.
How has the racing weekend been for you as a whole? Are you looking forward to this fight? How has this racing weekend been for you as a whole? Are you excited for this final race? And is there anything you're kind of anticipating?
Yeah, the racing weekend was not so easy for us. I had another goal than where we finished. Yesterday we had bad luck with all the decisions. I understand that, but in the end, if you don't get the information on the track, you cannot react. That, was a pity for me, but we were focused on today, but we were not fast enough in qualifying again, so hard first race, but we were able to go from 9th to 5th, so that's the reason why now in the reverse grid for the second race of the day, we are starting from 4th, so I'm just focused in front and hopefully we can gain some positions.
Absolutely, and how are you coping with the heat today? Is it going okay? It's very hot, isn't it?
Yeah, today it feels more hot than yesterday, but I think there is not such a big difference. But it's hot, and I think the most difficult part is the lap when we finish the race, when we all come down, you're not concentrated anymore, then you feel the heat. During the race, it's okay.
Absolutely. Well, Steffi, best of luck. I'm going to let you crack on now, but best of luck with the race. Hope it goes well for you. Okay, well, we all know Norbert Kish had a little bit of a barge on the track, and we did have a deflated tyre, unfortunately, but I did catch up with Norbert Kish, and he told me a little bit about what happened and showed us the tyre as well. So Norbert Kish, we had a little bit of a punctured tyre there in that. How are you feeling after that?
Well, disappointed, of course. Mostly because there is, somebody hit me, Johan Hahn hit me, and there is not even an investigation on it. So I guess this is allowed now to do to the other guy. But of course, it was mostly my fault because I made a mistake on the braking in turn 3, so he could get close, and then he got close and he used the opportunity to, try to do something with me, and then he had all the right side of the circuit and he still chose to hit me. So that caused the puncture. And after that there was no pace, in the left turns. I have to be really careful, really slow, because the rear has no grip. So unfortunate. But the most disappointing thing that there is no investigation. There is a contact, position gained, whatever, and no investigation is a bit disappointing.
So is it going to be, how are you feeling about the next race? Is it going to be okay?
Well, for sure we can change this, and then otherwise the track was fine. And then reverse grid race, we will start from P3, I think, which is okay. Try to do something, and maybe overtake a few people again, and we will see. But of course, for the points, the first race is more important. So.
Hopefully, well, this won't happen again. So fingers crossed for you, Norby. I hope it goes okay for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
But when you've spent the last couple of years obviously winning races 1 and 3 of the weekend, it's very disheartening to lose out on a big chunk of points. There's a lot of opportunities for drivers in the first races and third races of the weekend to get their championship back in check. It's been a bit of a trying weekend for him so far, but obviously with the 2 wins yesterday, it's quite the contrast to suddenly not have that for this third race. So in the fourth race, I'm sure he's going to be a little bit more confident in moving forward now that he knows that at least the tyre is back in check. But I suppose it's going to be quite difficult to make his way past the first guys in the first couple of corners. It's a long race though, and at the end of the day we know just how quick he is from 8th on the grid. So if he can come through from 3rd on the grid like he usually does, then it's going to be wonderful to watch. But on the front row at the moment we have Bradley Smith and René Reinert, those two ready to go. We then have Norbert Kish and Steffi Halm on row 2. Obviously, it's understandable that Norby was disappointed with the contact. It was lovely to see Jochen Hahn get a win, of course, but not the circumstances anybody would have wanted that to happen in. But it's high drama. That's motorsport. That's competition. Sometimes things don't always go your way. I'm happy to say I can see Tim Frost and Csaba Bacco having a good laugh near the back of Norby's truck at the moment. They're always having good fun. He's wishing each other good luck. But I'm going to say goodbye for just a moment while we go quiet, and we'll welcome our international TV audience from all around the world.
Welcome to the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. I'm Louise Schofield. I'm on the grid here in Misano. We are just about to get into the final race of the weekend. Spirits are very high. I am very excited. We're going to have a quick chat with Bradley Smith before we start though. Bradley, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm a bit nervous, not gonna lie, but I'm feeling good. We've had a good day so far, so hopefully try and keep this momentum rolling into the last race and on the front row, see what we can do.
And you're coping well as well, and you're in pole position here, which is great. So are you feeling like you got any tactics as you're going to go round?
You try to make a plan, but it never happens with this truck racing. But no, I hope you just get off, get a good start, and see if I can hold it, see what we can do.
Well, best of luck, Bradley. We've got this for you. Hopefully you get the win. Thank you so much. There we go. It's nerves are quite high, but everyone is in very good spirits. I think it's all very exciting here in Misano. We're going to have to see how we get on with the final race of the weekend. I can't wait to see. So, Chaz, I'm going to send it back to you.
Thank you very much, Louise. Fantastic to be here ahead of the final race of the weekend. As she said, nerves are high, but everyone's in pretty high spirits as well. There's a lot riding on this because now, if anything goes wrong in this race, they've got a week to wonder about it, what might have been before we head to Slovakia in just under a week's time. We now have the circuit there before you, Misano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli, a fantastic racetrack indeed. Designed for motorbike racing originally, but it accommodates our trucks and our paddock very, very well. It's a very sort of multi-use circuit for lots of different categories from all around the world. 28 degrees Celsius in the air at the moment. Let me tell you, it does not feel like that low. It feels like it's about 40 right now, even in the air-cooled little commentary box we've got. But it's a fantastic, fantastic set of conditions we've had all weekend. As I mentioned with Louise on the grid just before, you can feel how sticky the track is in places now with all the rubber that's gone down. It's absolutely mesmerising how much it has just all sunk into the surface. But it's going to be a very interesting final race, and obviously with a jumbled grid, with a very active third race set in that, it should be exciting. Look out for Curva del Rio, Curva Quercia and Tramonto at the top of the hill, as well as three real difficult corners for these drivers to get right lap after lap. You can hear maybe in the background the Italian announcer here, Boris, doing his best, giving it everything to keep the crowd hyped ahead of this final race of the weekend. I hope you're all enjoying the broadcast and the coverage back at home, wherever you may be. We are doing our very best to put on as good a show as we can for you guys as we start a new campaign and a new era in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Of course, the FIA doing more on the promotional side now, rather than just the competition organisation. It's lovely to see it all roll into one at last. It's been a long winter planning and preparing everything, getting everyone together and everybody teamed up. But here we are now, finally, with nearly a first race weekend under our belts. It's great to see it all come into one big product. As you can see, the crowds are filling the grandstands, all preparing themselves for this final burst of energy. Look at everybody on the terraces up there. Very, very brave people indeed, because there is no hide from the sun up there. You are very much in there. There's the... I love the Valentino Rossi hats. That's really cool to see. They love Valentino out here, of course. And Misano, a circuit that is very synonymous with MotoGP World Superbikes. But now, a very different machine has come to town with our over 5-ton, 1,200 horsepower racing trucks. We have the Goodyear Wingfoot Award on the start-finish straight that you'll be seeing in just a moment. Now, obviously, don't forget, you can vote for drivers. The three that have been shortlisted from the weekend's results so far, you all get to vote via the Instagram page. So if you head to our Instagram, you'll see a story highlight, I'm told it's called. I'm a boomer these days, so I don't know anything about social media. But there is a story highlight that you'll see on the Instagram, and you'll be able to scan a QR code as well eventually that will get you in to vote for your effectively driver of the weekend. But it's the driver that wins the Goodyear Wingfoot Award, not just based on their overall race finishes or their pace. It's all about the sportsmanship that they show off the track as well, even their sportsmanship on it, but also any standout performers that go to our committee. It's an anonymous committee of people that vote for these drivers and these entrants, and they put forward the shortlist for you all. I do like to speculate, though, as a commentator, obviously wondering who will be in that group. And we have Bradley Smith and Rene Reiner on the front row, both of them having quite topsy-turvy weekends, but there is the award they're all hoping for, the Goodyear Wingfoot on the very front. It's going to be the first time that we give that out this season, and I know that a number of the drivers are very excited at the prospect of having this special and prestigious award given to them. There's yellow flags waving just behind our cameraman to keep him very visible to everybody, let alone with the humongous pink tabard that he's wearing as well. But a big shout and thanks to Pearly, our cameraman, putting himself in the firing line of our trucks. And now my good friends Fleishy and Lucas have just sprinted into action to take the Wingfoot Award away off the grid. But leading them around is the official pace truck of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, the Iveco S E-Way, fully electric machine, provided to us by a major partner, Iveco. And it's lovely to have this version of this truck on screen with us, and on track with us, I should say. But it's lovely to have it on screen at the same time. And it's been put through its paces on what is actually quite a fast lap around here in a road-going truck. But let's look at our final grid of the weekend then. Bradley Smith starts on pole position. Surely he can do great things from there, with René Reinert alongside him on the front row. Norbert Kish starts from third position, a dead-set favourite for this final race win of the weekend. He's alongside Steffi Halm, who told Louise earlier she was hoping for a podium in this last one. Let's see whether she can get that position needed. You just saw a clip there of Clemens Hecker coming around turn 4. Good to have him back on the grid. I caught up with him just after race 3. They had the engine finished not long after. It's their third engine that they've put in that truck now. Sasha Lenz will start 5th on the grid. Antonio Albacete will start in 6th position. There's an interesting race report afterwards about Antonio's team, which I may get into later. Lucas Hahn will start 7th on the grid. Jochen Hahn starting 8th after that father-son 1-2 that we will remember for a long time to come. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez starts in 9th. He might finish there, we don't know yet. John Newell will start in 10th position. We then have Stefan Faas in 11th spot with Jonathan Andre alongside him. You can see a lot of black smoke from Clemens Hecker's truck there, but he's getting the power down and making sure that he gets all of that out of its system. It's a new engine that's just gone in that truck. So they will obviously maybe have a couple of early gremlins, but hope to sort them out very quickly. Luke Garrett will start on the 7th row of the grid in 13th position with Stefan Kirsch alongside him. And then with just one row to go, it will be Mark Taylor in 15th after the engine issue earlier, and then Clemens Hecker starting in the 16th and final spot. So a busy and full grid. It's great to get to the end of a weekend and still have a full grid of trucks ready to get going. 16 of them to start the season is a lovely, lovely number to have. We have 15 full season entries, and a number of meetings we'll see race by race entrants as well. Drivers that come in for maybe just 1 or 2 rounds of the championship. Lucas Hahn will be with us for 4 of them, I'm happy to say. Lucas is a great, great character to have on the grid. Really throws the cat amongst the pigeons, as we say, in the Chrome class. He's very often the favourite to win in that category. But when he's not there for every round, it's very difficult for him to take the overall championship there. There's Bradley Smith then starting on pole position once again. He was due to start on the front row, as was René Reinert, actually, in the second race just yesterday. So the two of them now relegated further down the order in the earlier part of the weekend, now find themselves back on the front row for the final race of the weekend. Now hold on to your hats, everyone, because while the temperature has been rising, it's about to on the circuit now as well, as they head round the final corner. And race number 4 of the 2026 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship from Misano gets underway as the lights go out and they storm down the start-finish straight. A very even start by Bradley Smith and René Reinert. Looks like René, as he goes up through the gears, just gets his nose in front, but can he carry the pace around the outside? No, Bradley Smith gets to the apex first, but he can actually do it, can René. Lovely move around the outside. Steffi Halm tries to fill that gap now on the inside for turn 2, where Bradley Smith should have been, and they remain elbow to elbow as they go around turn 3. Norbert Kish has to just wait behind. He's on that right-hand side of the circuit. Now he wants to make it 3 wide. Bradley Smith, a big old shake of the tail as he heads down towards turn 4. Norby gets his nose down the inside, and it's the 2 MANs that lead the way. Baloo and Baloo Jr. still 3 wide behind as well. The Sasha Lenz now tries to get through. He squeezes through, and it's Steffi Halm goes from hero to zero very quickly. More contact with Bradley Smith. They head across the circuit in front of the rest of the field, but they somehow manage to avoid collecting anybody else. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez on screen there with John Newell side by side as they head down to Curva Equestrian for the first time. Looks like Antonio's making a move down the inside of Steffi Halm as well. It's the 2 MANs. The start is under investigation, which is interesting. That could mean somebody was out of position, somebody went too early when the green flag was waved, or the green lights came on. But there's a lot of argy-bargy in the middle there. There's a big old hit from one truck to another. Just struggling to see who that was actually in the middle of all of that. I think it might have been Jonathan Andre, actually. It does look like it was the Lion Truck Racing Machine. But wow, big bits of contact there in the middle of the pack. It wasn't even Bradley Smith, actually. No, it was not Bradley. but there was a big old whack in the side for one of them on the exit of Curva Quercia. It's not Jonathan Andre, I can tell you, because he's in the pit lane right in front of us. He came in at the end of the formation lap, so if I'd have just looked out the window rather than at the screen, I would have been able to tell you that, but here we are. René Reinert leading the way, Norbert Kish second, Sasha Lenz already up into third place. Great start for Sasha. Fourth place, Steffi Halm. Fifth place, Antonio Albacete. And then Jochen Hahn and Lucas Hahn going past Bradley Smith. Bradley's gone backwards in this opening lap. He really won't be too pleased with that, but he really had nowhere to go in a lot of those scenarios. It will say Jonathan Andre leads the way, but that's just because he's crossed the timing line in the pit lane. Bradley Smith really having to get his elbows out here to defend. He just keeps getting freight trained. It's one of those circuits where as soon as you're on the line that you don't want to be on, you lose position as, René Reinert's gone wide at the end of the first lap, I should say. It's not quite the final lap yet, Chaz. Everyone running wide in the background, and would you believe it, Norbert Kish leads the way. He leads from Sasha Lenz. There's a massive battle going on in the Chrome class further back. Got a number of them side by side, but Sasha Lenz has moved up into second place. René Reinert now moving up into third. Steffi Halm still in fourth place. What a busy start to this race. Fantastic stuff to watch. It looks like Clemens Hecker has come into the pits as well after the formation lap, so he's not circulated and completed that first lap of the race. So already, I said we had 16 trucks at the start of this race. I hope you believed me, because now we've got 14. 2 of them already out of this one. But Bradley Smith falling down to 10th position in just the first lap, and he's still very much in the fight as well. He's lost even more ground. I think there might be a problem, maybe a puncture on the truck, because he's lost positions now to Mark Taylor, Stefan Fast, Stefan Kirsch. Oh, goodness me, he's really fallen to the back of the pack. I'm going to look out the window and see if there is any damage on the truck. But there on the right-hand side are your 3 drivers nominated for the Goodyear Wingfoot Award for the very first time. Antonio Albacete, Norbert Kish and Lucas Hahn. It doesn't look like Bradley's got that much damage, because he's just sent it back up the inside of Stefan Kirsch at Curva Quercia, so he's definitely not lost his motivation. There's the QR code on your screen, and if you scan that, you'll be able to vote for your winning driver for the first ever Goodyear Wingfoot Award in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Bit of dust kicked up in the background there, and all the drivers chasing behind René Reinert now. That is Steffi Halm, I believe, chasing him for third position. Antonio Albacete running in 5th place. But that was one of the busiest race starts we've had in a long while without major incident. There was bits of contact here and there. Steffi actually doing really well to be still in 4th place after all of that, because she did get elbowed out wide by Bradley Smith in the opening couple of corners. Bradley, obviously, it's no fault of his. He was just in the middle with Sasha Lenz down the inside, so he had to give Sasha the room, but Steffi wouldn't have known they were 3 wide. And Norbert Kish roars past the commentary box once again. Lucas Hahn there defending from Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. There's 5 of them stuck together for third position at the moment. John Newell chasing them down. John's going really well at the moment. He finds himself second in the Chrome class. He's had a second, a third and a fourth so far this weekend as John, so a really solid start to his 2026 campaign. It's great stuff to watch though, as the sunlight glints off the back of the trucks. They're glowing all their way around the track. But Norbert Kish now and Sasha Lenz breaking away from the front of the pack. 1.3 seconds is the gap, but then Sasha has another 2.4 seconds to René Reinert, who's having to defend, having to work hard, keep an eye on the trucks behind him. But now, after the start, everybody takes a couple of laps just to settle back in and make sure that they know exactly what they want for this race. They have to assess their position after the opening scuffles and think, right, who can I overtake now? What can I work on for the rest of this 12-lap race? Mark Taylor is trying to catch up with John Newell as the two of them run in 9th and 10th, the final point-scoring positions in the overall category. Sad to say that Bradley Smith has dropped off the back of Stefan Kirsch now. He's got damage to the front left and the right rear of his truck, so he may be struggling in all sorts of corners. Not like we saw with Norby in the third race of the weekend, where he had just a struggle out of left-handers because the right rear had gone down. Bradley may be struggling just about everywhere at the moment, which is a huge shame, because it's been one of those weekends. He's had such a great start in this new truck, but then when the races come to him, he's just not had the rub of the green, as we say. Look at this train of them all together here. Lucas Hahn now right behind his father, and then Jose Eduardo Rodriguez chasing the pair of them as well. It's insanely close between all of these guys. It's great to watch. It's lovely to see them all stay in such close vicinity to one another without having any dramas. René Reinert now starting to break away a little bit from Steffi Helm, actually. As they crossed the line there was visually a bigger gap. But now it's Antonio Albacete under pressure from Jochen Hahn. Jochen can see that they're both catching Steffi and that René is getting away. So he's going to want to push the buttons a little bit more and start to dial it up and get ahead of Antonio while he can. It's very, very close stuff though, isn't it? We're at that point of the race now where we're a few laps in. Drivers have just chilled out slightly after a busy start, and they will take their time to ensure that they can make moves when possible. Just keep an eye out for opportunities and not overdo it. You can see the little flashing board there. There is a black and white flag for Stefan Faas. That can often mean that he's been given a warning for penalty markers, for example. We've had a black and white flag for penalty markers for Bradley Smith, one for Stefan Faas, one for Lucas Hahn. Lucas is on his second warning, actually, and Luke Garrett is on 2 warnings as well. So we need to keep an eye on that, and the drivers need to be very careful not to overdo it. I'll keep my eye on the messages channel that we get on the live timing, so I can give you any updates on that. There's also been a black and white flag for Stefan Faas in turn 4. So that's his second warning already within a lap. Everybody now firing their way down the back straight. Jochen Hahn trying his best to catch up with Antonio Albacete once again. It's difficult to stay with him. Might he have to catch up in the Wingfoot Award as well, but, well, Jochen's not in that trio, unfortunately, but Antonio Albacete, for his consistency this weekend, is up there. Of course, Norbert Kish for the amazing performances in races 1 and 2, and then going on to defend so brilliantly in race 3, despite a puncture. He's definitely involved in that, and Lucas Hahn, straight out of the blocks this season, has been right amongst all the Titan drivers, with them where he belongs, to say the least. It's fantastic being here on site, I have to say. Just a moment to break the fourth wall, to be here on site and see them roaring past the commentary box in the glorious sunshine is just an experience. It's amazing. Luke Garrett, not Lucas Garrett. He's just ahead of Stefan Faas right now for 11th place. They're hoping for some big points in Chrome at the moment. Luke finds himself a bit further down the order. He's 8th in the Chrome class after a 7th and a 6th and a DNF. Just 10 points to his name so far. And just as I say that, it's Luke Garrett that's actually under investigation for crossing the white line before the start of the race. So I think that means the sort of line in the middle of all the trucks. So they sort of have to treat it like there's tram lines, as if it's karting, where when they have a rolling start, you have to stay within 2 lines in a column almost until the lights go out. You cannot leave those columns, and I think that's what Luke may have done, is just gone slightly out of formation. So we've had a penalty marker warning for John Newell now, truck number 18, and for Antonio Albacete in turn 3. A number of drivers are on 2 warnings, and on the third one they will get a drive-through penalty, and that is going to add a lot of time to their race time here, because it's a long old pit lane at Misano. There's René Reinert, Steffi Helm, Antonio Albacete still just in front of Jochen Hahn, but everybody else spreading out slightly. There's the battle in the background there. Luke Garrett and Stefan Faas almost side by side as they come down the straight. Stefan hasn't quite got the overlap just yet. I can just see them out of the window. He's going from one side to the other, trying to put his truck in the rear view mirrors of Luke Garrett, but now with the lack of front bumper on that machine, not sure whether that's going to be better or worse. He tries it around the outside of Luke Garrett. Luke runs him out of road, says nope, no way around here, sunshine, try again. Stefan Faas has got Stefan Kirsch just behind him now, and then Bradley Smith is unfortunately falling away from that pack a little bit. But it's lovely to see the Freightliner going well here under the control of Stefan Faas. It's a very, very busy race so far, this one. A big old gap in front of Luke Garrett, but I'm sure he won't mind with the fact that he's staying ahead of a number of his Chrome rivals. Bradley's truck looks like it's been through 3 rounds with a T-Rex at the moment. It's absolutely shredded down the left-hand side. It's had a hell of a lot of hits. Those opening corners were definitely not kind to the number 46. But we're halfway through the race now on lap 6. You could see there from Stefan Faas heading around the corner just how much rubber is being put down on the exit of turn 3. It's being absolutely painted onto the circuit in this race. The Goodyear tyres are certainly doing their best to maintain their performance throughout the race and not fall off a cliff of performance like tyres are known for doing so sometimes. But Goodyear gives us this amazing, durable and sustainable tyre, 60% sustainable this season, building on the previously 55% sustainable material. Well, that'll make the truck lighter, as part of the fiberglass joins more fiberglass on the outside of the circuit there for Bradley Smith. Bradley, you could see the truck sit down there actually on the exit. You can see it really hunker down. But he certainly seems to be struggling with something pace-wise at the moment. You can see the heat haze. Look how hot it is here at the moment. That gives you a great idea of just how warm it is here at Misano. It is baking hot this afternoon. It's lovely, lovely conditions. But it is a test of man and machine, I can tell you that. But Luke Garrett staying in front of Stefan Faas. Just defending where he needs to. He's not overdoing it. Norbert Kish drives through once again, leading the way. Now completing 6 laps of this race. Steffi Halmer's moving over to the right-hand side of the start-finish straight, staying cool there. But look who's on the scene now for this battle. Stefan Kirsch in the MAN, wanting to join in and really sort of throw his hat into the ring because, well, John Newell and Mark Taylor, as you see, they've disappeared up the road. It's Luke Garrett, Stefan Faas and Stefan Kirsch. Top 3 for the nominees of the Wingfoot Award are on your right-hand side. Antonio Albacete, Norbert Kish and Lucas Hahn. All 3 having very interesting weekends and have all been nominated by our anonymous panel. But you at home can now vote for your favourite driver. It's certainly been an interesting race so far. Again, Stefan Faas tries the move on Luke Garrett. Again, it doesn't come off. And Luke just holds his ground in the new black and green machine that they've built for this year. Previously building on the black, yellow and blue. I joked yesterday that yellow and blue does make green, and I think that's the evolution path they've gone down for the livery. It does remind me of one of Sasha Lenz's old trucks. When I first started commentating on truck racing, it was black and green back then for Sasha. Now very different kettle of fish with the white and the almost purple. As Stefan Faas goes later on the brakes this time, gets down the inside. Luke Garrett has to give him the room. He does so. Now can he use the outside line to get a better run? I don't think so. Stefan got a really good launch off the corner. He's going to try and get rid of the overlap, but he can't push Luke off the circuit. You're allowed to overtake wherever you want on the circuit as long as you don't push other people off it. Stefan wanted to come over there and make sure that Luke was submitting into the next corner, and, well, Luke had to get out of it, unfortunately. But Stefan Faas goes through regardless into 11th position. Now, how long will the Freightliner stay in front after that clean manoeuvre? Clean, of course, because it was run on 100% renewable HVO diesel, but clean also in the way that there was no contact on the way through. Stefan Kirsch looking imminent there as well. René Reinert's doing really well to hold on here, but Steffi Halm just can't quite get close enough. She's got the attentions of Antonio Albacete, Jochen Hahn, Lucas Hahn, and then Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, but she just can't quite catch up to the German ahead. And René is looking like he's going to take a podium, which will be his first overall podium of the season. He's had an 11th and 2 7ths so far, so not the easiest of weekends for him. After taking 4 race victories last year, it's going to feel like a bit of a sting this time. And Luke Garrett has come into the pit lane. Luke Garrett has come through. I didn't see him get... He has got a drive-through penalty, actually, for crossing the white line. I do apologise. I missed that one. I said I was going to look at the messages, and then, yeah, I just thought it was another sort of reminder that he was under investigation. But no, Luke Garrett has come through with a drive-through penalty. That's going to drop him down the order, unfortunately. That was a real shame because it was such a great battle between him and Stefan Faas. But that was for an infringement at the start of the race for crossing the white lines. Mark Taylor is still chasing down John Newell, I can tell you, for that 9th position. But Norbert Kish, well, he's out in the heat haze at the moment, all on his own, leading the way from Sasha Lenz. Sasha having a really good run as well. That would be Sasha's 2nd podium of the weekend, and that will really help him in the championship. I'm not sure if it would put him actually into 2nd place in the championship, because he would definitely move ahead of Lucas Hahn, because there's 5 positions between the two of them, and he's only 4 points behind. Sorry, he's only 2 points behind Lucas Hahn actually at the moment, so he would definitely move ahead. But he's 8 points off of Jochen Hahn. So Jochen would move back into second and Sasha would move up into third if it finished like this. Norbert Kish would retake the championship lead. Norby just crossing the line now in front of us as this absolute gaggle of them comes into the final corner. Sasha Lenz in second place. Next up, René Reinert in the ex-Norbert Kish machine. Stephanie Halm much closer this time round, though. Let's just check the previous lap times and see how much quicker she was on that last lap. René Reinert did a 2:04.499. Yeah, he was half a second slower. Steffi doing a 2:04.0. So she's certainly catching up now in this stage of the race. But is it too little too late? We're on lap 9 out of 12 here at Misano in the final race of the weekend of the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. It's certainly been a scorcher, and that's not the weather. René Reinert having to defend. He's starting to think about this now. He's having to put the truck on the inside of every corner really tight where he needs to, just to block off that opportunity for Steffi Halm in the Iveco. It looks like a battle going on there between the two British drivers. Mark Taylor going past John Newell. John's a little bit squirrely on the exit. Nearly contact, gents. Ooh, really squirrely on the exit. John tries not to hit his compatriot as Steffi goes for it round the outside at Curva Quercia, just in front of the commentary box here. Hasn't quite made it work. Antonio Albacete not able to take advantage. But on your screen right now, Mark Taylor moving ahead of John Newell. I can't see any guilty tyre marks down the side of either truck. In fact, actually, no, I lie to you. There is a big rubber mark up the side of Mark's truck. So Mark is marked, you could say. But Norbert Kish still leads. He's now nearly 5 seconds clear of Sasha Lenz. And another reminder there for you, we have the Goodyear Wingfoot Award going on at the moment. We've nominated 3 drivers. Well, our anonymous panel have nominated 3 drivers between the races after their performances over the weekend so far. And during this 4th race is your time to vote. We will present them with that trophy at the end of this race. It'll be the first time the Wingfoot Award has ever been given out in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. It's a very prestigious award that you'll see given in a number of Goodyear-supported racing series all around the world, namely the British Touring Car Championship as well, back in good old Blighty. There is Stefan Kirsch. He's a bit on his own now, actually, after that one, because Stefan Fast has broken away from him. He's got a good 4 seconds, actually, between himself and his next competitor. We move on to lap 10 of 12. The clock is ticking down now for Steffi Halm to make a move and get ahead of René Reinert. We'll have to see whether she can make that move in the last couple of laps. But Antonio Albacete, he's not looked like a major threat here unless Steph makes a big mistake, and it's the same then backwards with Jochen Hahn behind. He's not really been able to put much pressure on Antonio. There's been a bit of a stalemate in this queue. It's quite difficult for them all to follow each other in hot air as well, because that's why you see them fan out on the straights. They just can't sit behind the truck in front and just intake all of that hot air, only for it to be recycled further through the engine. Turbochargers, especially the ones as big as the dinner plates that we have on these trucks, need a lot of cool air to work as efficiently as possible. So you don't want to be sat behind another truck all the time. The exhausts may be out of the sides on these machines, but at the end of the day, the hot air only goes backwards when it's not coming out of my mouth. We've got Jochen Hahn then right up behind Antonio Albacete, and they're just glancing those penalty markers. But look at the gap already. Antonio was all of a sudden under pressure there mid-corner, and then by the time he's out of the corner, Jochen's just fallen back again. So there's this sort of what I call a reverse Newton's cradle, where it's not the 2 balls on the outside that are bouncing either side. It's actually the ones in the middle of the cradle that are rattling around. And again, look, see Steffi pulling out from behind the number 77. Jochen doing the same with Antonio. You can see Lucas moving around as well. They don't want to sit in any form of slipstream. They don't want to sit in any hot air behind the other trucks. They have to think about preservation and keeping the engine temperatures as cool as they can while it's nearly 30 degrees outside. It's not the easiest, but it's all just in the aid of getting to the end with the most performance you can have. But now 6 of them are absolutely glued together. 6 of them are spread out by about 7 truck lengths. It's incredible. Another lap in the books for Norby. 2 laps to go. Lap number 11 for the 7-time champion to try and take another race victory here. It would be his 3rd of the weekend. We have René Reinert now still under pressure from Steffi Halm. Steffi puts her nose down the inside but just fakes it into turn 1. Doesn't quite get anything done there. Antonio Albacete really needs to latch onto the back now like there's a real 5th wheel on the back of Steffi's truck and she's just towing him along. Because if she makes a mistake here or tries to go for the move and it doesn't work, or if René defends too hard, then Antonio is going to be, as we say in the UK, quids in. all going to come up Antonio. But there are the 6 of them. What a shot. It's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? The snake of 6 trucks making their way through. Looks like Mark Taylor has broken away a little bit from John Newell as well now. So Mark will go on to finish second in Chrome if it stays like this, with John next up. Steffi looking down the inside of Rene now to the outside. Breaks a little bit later, tries to go around the outside. Oh, there's a small lock-up. That's the mistake I was wondering about. Now, can she get the cutback on the exit of the corner? Nicely calculated. Ends up alongside, back up the hill. They rub wheels and bodywork all the way up the hill. And now into the hairpin. She's on the outside line, but this is when Antonio needs to pounce. Antonio needs to put his nose down the inside now, fill that gap, try and get the position for himself. Now Rene is under attack, but if they fight too hard behind Rene, they will lose sight of the blue number 77 in front of them. I know that's difficult because it's a massive racing truck, but they will theoretically lose sight of it. Although Steffi, whoa, while shedding bodywork at the competitors like a banana skin in Mario Kart, she's actually still alongside. Still alongside all the way down, but has to back out of it as they get into the braking zone. Rene Reinert just filling the space well. He's just got to defend like this one more lap. Look at them, they're literally queuing like they're on the M1 as they head into the final couple of corners now. You can hear the crowd cheering like mad behind the camera. They're absolutely loving this action here this afternoon. Norbert Kish at the front is heading on to the last lap of the race. Sasha Lenz also following him as well, 5 seconds back. But this is the battle to keep your eyes on here. We have our battle in the Goodyear Wingfoot Award, of course. 3 drivers for you to vote for over on Instagram. Antonio Albacete, Lucas Hahn and Norbert Kish. But these drivers right now, these 6 are really entertaining us, and it's fantastic stuff to watch. Rene Reinert through turns 1, 2 and 3 nice and cleanly. Now he makes his way round to the triple apex right-hander at Curva del Rio. He's going to get hard onto the brakes. Steffi doesn't go for a move there. I think it's going to be at the end of the back straight down to Curva Quercia. She's almost pushing Rene around there. It seems like through the right-handers Rene's really struggling. That's where he's losing pace. The truck may be a little bit unbalanced in these conditions, but Steffi's got a good run out of that corner now. As they head down the back straight, it's looking good. She's having to go to the right-hand side here. That's going to be really difficult into the next corner. Keep an eye on Antonio Albacete, third in this group. He's going to try and capitalise on this because Steffi's had to back out of that one and once again go for the cutback, but she's going to put herself back on the outside line. Can't get the run off the corner. Just looked out the window then, and there is no run out of that corner for Steffi. She's going to try it at the top of the hill, though, and go around the outside. No, not that time round either. Can't go to the inside, just gives Rene a little push into the next hairpin. This is great defensive work by Rene Reinert. He's really showing his experience here. It was such a shame not to have him with us for a couple of seasons after seeing him in action in his Iveco. It's great to have him back. A bit of bodywork in the middle of the circuit there. Hopefully, I was going to say hopefully it doesn't lift off the ground just like that. But now it's these 2 together. Antonio Albacete has dropped back slightly. It's going to be another victory for Norbert Kish by the look of it. He's about to come around the final corner. There's some last-minute dives from Jochen Hahn. But around the final corner, the air horns sound out the window. And it's going to be Norbert Kish that's going to come round and take his 3rd race victory of the day in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. Sasha Lenz drifting to the line in 2nd position. And what a defensive drive that was. Rene Reinert is going to complete the podium in 3rd. Then behind him, it's Steffi Halm side by side across the line. Antonio Albacete next up, then Jochen Hahn, Lucas Hahn, and Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. What a fantastic finish that was. Excellent stuff. Oh, we love a grandstand finish. It's not often we get those, but side by side, Steffi Halm and Rene Reinert for the last podium position. It goes the way of Rene Reinert. That was absolutely breathtaking stuff. We love to see it. Next up is going to be Mark Taylor and John Newell. Stefan Fast comes across the line in the number 24 machine. Stefan Kirsch, who we were just looking at there in truck 33, will be next up. A huge shame for Bradley Smith not to convert that into a victory. And then Luke Garrett will be the final truck to finish, as Clemens Hecker and Jonathan Andre did not start that race. A very difficult weekend for the Hecker racing team, considering they had this brand new truck. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off for them. Luke Garrett crosses the line, but your race winner for the 3rd time this weekend is Norbert Kish. Not quite the clean sweep that he would have wanted, but I tell you, to come back from that race 3 disappointment and take the win, he will be over the moon. Don't forget that now you'll just have a few more moments to get your votes in for the Goodyear Wingfoot Award. We have Antonio Albacete, Lucas Hahn, and Race 4 winner Norbert Kish for you to vote for. head over to the Championship's Instagram page. Oh, and look at the drifting with Lucas Hahn and Jochen Hahn. You can probably hear it at the bottom of the shot, but these trucks are very good machines for drifting. They have so much weight over the front end and so little weight over the rear end that the way they are balanced is perfect for drifting. And the drivers can maintain a hell of a slide in them. You should see them in the wet when we have cool-down laps. It is absolutely remarkable. But so too is the performance of Revace Racing and Norbert Kish, once again coming straight into a championship where they are just looking more confident than ever. They've got a truck that is absolutely rapid. They've got a driver that is determined as always to take what will be his 8th title if he wins it this year. And it seems like the question on everybody's lips during the One Truck Family documentary was, can anybody catch Norbert Kish? And it seems like it's very much still the same question now. Sascha Lenz will be really pleased after such an impressive start to his season. He'll be over the moon with that one. Just filling in my Chrome results now so I can try and get you some sort of picture for the championship points. We've got Mark Taylor and John Newell back on the podium again. That's John Newell's 3rd podium of the weekend, actually. Does a really good job of that. It was Stefan Faas and Stefan Kirsch next up then, ahead of Bradley Smith and Luke Garrett. There's some drifting. Fantastic. Lucas Hahn, after an amazing weekend. Oh, look at the transfer from one corner to the other. Lucas, you show off. Fantastic. Mark Taylor next up. John Newell in 3rd place in class. And we always look forward to the next time we have Lucas Hahn on track with us. And he certainly is a character to have around. There's Norby taking another winner's board. Sascha Lenz, 2nd place. Sascha told me earlier that stuff happens, but in different words. And there you go. There is your Wingfoot Award winner. Norbert Kish not only performing insanely well this weekend as ever, but he also comes away from the first round of the championship with the first ever Goodyear Wingfoot Award to go to a Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship driver. Congratulations, Norby. Congratulations to Revace Racing. The amount of hard work that the team put in, that will mean a lot to them. Sascha Lenz will open the door, hop out of the truck, and there is Norby. A thumbs up from him and a 3rd race win of the weekend and the season. Csaba Bacco there, very happy. Sascha Lenz will be really chuffed as well. Look at that, he's really pleased, he's so happy. Oh, it's great to see. Sascha really wears his heart on his sleeve with his racing, and you can tell when he's had a difficult time. There's Jane Bigler as well to give him a big hug. And Laura as well, from Rene Reinert's team, Rene's wife. Great stuff, big congratulations. And from Csaba Bacco to Sascha as well, and to Norby's team and each other. That's a lovely sight. Well, if there's ever been a shot for the One Truck Family mantra, there it is. Sascha will be over the moon. Absolutely over the moon there, bless him. Brilliant stuff. Let's have a quick look at the results then of that race, shall we? And it will tell you that once again, Norbert Kish takes another fantastic victory. Sure, he didn't have to fight through as much of the field this time, but that's how the cookie crumbles, and he takes the win. At the end of the day, he's got to pedal the thing, and he does it well. Sascha Lenz was 2nd. Rene Reinert gets his 1st podium of the season ahead of Steffi Hallman, Antonio Albacete. Jochen Hahn and Lucas Hahn inseparable all weekend, but what could you imagine? Jose Eduardo Rodriguez next up ahead of Mark Taylor, and John Newell yet again inside the top 10, scoring more overall championship points, doing a wonderful job in the Chrome class as well, finishing on the podium there. Stefan Faas once again 11th, Stefan Kirsch in 12th, Bradley Smith 13th. He'll be really disappointed after that race after a very topsy-turvy weekend. And Luke Garrett finishes in 14th place. Jonathan Andre and Clemens Hecker did not start. Let's head down into the pit lane and speak to Rene Reinert, shall we? His 1st podium of the season with Louise.
Rene, how are you feeling after that race?
I would say so, 50-50. Happy about the start. Start was good. Yeah. Good already in the first 2 corners. I got from the 2nd to the 1st position. And then was already a small gap. But then, also the first lap, Norby overtake, I don't know, the other ones, and he was behind me. And I guess it was already in the end of the 1st lap or the 2nd lap, I don't know. I make a mistake on the last corner. I had a blocked tire in the front, and then I go out of the track, and I thought, okay, now it's over. But I lost 2 positions, Norby and Sasha. After I find a good race rhythm, it was not so bad, and the gap was not bigger to the middle of the race.
Yeah.
But then the tires getting hotter and hotter, and I had I struggling with the conditions, and then Steffi came closer, and they make pressure from behind, and the last 2 laps I had to defend.
Absolutely, yeah. And what's been your highlight of the weekend?
The highlight of the weekend was for sure the last race. Yes, if you can go on the podium, then it's a highlight for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, there you are, and I'm sure the champagne is going to be up there. If it gets on you, then it's a little bit cool down, isn't it? It's quite nice.
Really, really hot the whole weekend, and today I got 30 degrees, 55 degrees on the tarmac, so it's not easy.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, Rene, thank you so much, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are going to have a look at the highlights of the race to see what happened.
So the final race of the weekend, then, an absolute barnstormer as we expected. The reverse grid always throws up an interesting race, and it was Bradley Smith and Rene Reinert on the front row of the grid. Rene made a great start, got the lead position in the first couple of corners, but contact further and further back through the order for Bradley Smith really threw him down the standings. It was a massive shame to see, but it's one of those things. He really tried to fight, but it didn't quite work out. Rene Reinert fell back a couple of positions, but there he would stay. It was one of the defensive drives of the last few seasons for Rene Reinert. Once Norbert Kish got into the lead and Sasha Lenz took second place, Rene was able to hold third until the very end. It was deja vu on deja vu every single lap. Steffi Halm right behind the number 77, and obviously some shedded bodywork along the way. Bradley Smith there getting rid of that front right corner. We had a great battle with Luke Garrett and Stefan Fast right together in the middle of the pack, but unfortunately Luke Garrett would end up with a drive-through penalty which would drop him down as well. John Newell and, of course, Mark Taylor getting their elbows out and having a bit of an inter-British battle in the middle of the field with no other drivers really anywhere around them. They were in a bit of no man's land. Steffi Halm put up an amazing drive to try and get that final podium spot. She did tell Louise before the race that she wanted a podium, and she was that close to getting one, as Rene did his very best to defend every single lap. Very good entertainment though, seeing 6 trucks so close to each other on the circuit throughout, and hopefully that is a sign of things to come for the rest of the season. It's one of the closest starts to the championship we've had. Sure, we may have Norbert Kish dominating as ever, but it's still been a very interesting weekend here in Misano. And a round of applause to everybody, of course. Let's have a look then at the podium presentations. We have slightly different running order to things here. So we will have our overall podium. The first of them will be having Tony Idden on there, the Series Development Coordinator of the FIA. He's going to be giving out the trophies for this one. And now, as Boris builds them up in Italian, so I can't translate, sorry, you can hear that the voice is rising, and third place goes to Rene Reinert, his first podium of the season. And as he said to Louise, 50-50 with that one, starting at the front, taking the lead. He was hoping he could have held on a little bit longer, but still, that puts him in good stead for the remainder of the championship. Sasha Lenz takes his second podium of the weekend, and as you can see, I told you he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's very pleased with that. He leaves Misano third in the championship, provisionally, on 37 points. Just 9 points behind championship leader Norbert Kish and 5 points behind Jochen Hahn. But of course, the man that has once again been supreme here in Misano, taking 3 race victories, is Norbert Kish, and he's got a number of his fans that have come over from the grandstand actually into the pit lane with flags and hats and all sorts. I think a scarf, which is probably the strangest thing I've seen in 30-degree heat as well. But Norbert Kish returns to the championship, once again defending his title and doing an amazing job of it straight off the bat. Now, some trophies will be given out in just a moment. I'm told it will be Tony Idden, the Series Development Coordinator of the FIA, and all-round Northern bloke, as we say. It was great to speak to Tony earlier in the weekend on the grid, actually. He did really save our bacon with explaining what happened with the penalty markers. No, it's Sina Amirdivani. Sina giving the trophies out. I was going to say Tony suddenly got a lot younger. Rene Reinert gets third place. And as you can see, he's still not entirely happy with that. Next up, Sina brings the next trophy over to Sasha Lenz after a great weekend. And you can tell, again, it means so much to Sasha. It's great to see that celebration. He's had such a topsy-turvy weekend. And then the third and final trophy, by no means least, goes to your race winner, Norbert Kish. And now for our winning driver, we will have the Hungarian national anthem. Or we should do anyway if he announces it quickly enough. I see. So we've also got the Goodyear Wingfoot Award being handed out now while Norby is also on the podium. I was under the impression this would be a separate presentation. But Norbert Kish is the first ever winner of the Goodyear Wingfoot Award here in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. That's a mighty heavy trophy as well. So Norbert Kish wins the first ever Goodyear Wingfoot Award in this championship, and I'm sure that will mean a lot to him and the team after what was a bit of a disheartening race 3 earlier on in the day. They will pose on the top step for their pictures in their Goodyear hats, and then we'll have one of the most unique traditions in truck racing, which has nothing to do with trucks actually, but we should have the changing of the caps, where the drivers wear their own teamwear hats instead of the Goodyear hats. I've never seen this in any other motorsport series, and if anyone has, I'd like them to tell me where, because it's the only place I've ever seen it. But they now pose again for the pit lane and then for the photographers. Richard Kaimberger over at the side. And now Norby's got to try and hold 2 trophies while getting soaked with champagne, because he's bound to get drenched, of course. Sasha Lenz, very good with the champagne. He's a good shot. And it just becomes a champagne fight with him and Rene. It's one of my favourite bits of the weekend is the champagne fights, especially after races 2 and 4, where they don't have to worry about drying the overalls out for another race. Just shows that little bit of camaraderie between the drivers. Let's have a look at some championship standings then, shall we? And as you can see, Norbert Kish goes to the top of the pile on 46 points. Jochen Hahn second on 42, just ahead of Sasha Lenz, who is just ahead of Lucas Hahn. What a great weekend he's had to start things off. Antonio Albacete finds himself on 30 points after a mixed bag of results, 2 podiums, only 3 top 5s. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez finds himself in 6th position on 21 points, just ahead of Steffi Halm. We then have Rene Reinert in 8th place on 16 points. Stefan Kirsch finds himself in the top 10, and John Newell makes his way up there as well. A solid start to the season for John. He said he was really confident, more confident than ever after his racing at the Hockenheimring a few weeks ago. We then have Stefan Faas on 4 points, Bradley Smith on 3, tied with Mark Taylor, and Jonathan Andre with 1 point in 14th. And now we have the chrome podium for the final time this weekend. John Newell makes it to 3rd place after a good fight with this man, Mark Taylor, making his way up to 2nd spot on the podium. They had a good laugh in that one, I think. I imagine they do. They always get on. They get on very, very well. I'm sure they had a bit of fun. But for a 3rd time this weekend, Lucas Hahn takes a victory in the Chrome class and comes away with 50 points of a maximum 60, and only the DNF in race 2 stops him from gaining that other 10 needed to complete the maximum. I'm sure that a number of the drivers will be scared, shaking in their boots at the idea of Lucas competing more often. Tony Idden now gives out the trophy to John Newell, and he makes his way back to pick up the 2nd place trophy. Tony is the series development coordinator of the FIA, and he is part of the furniture here in the Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship, and that's not because he moves slowly, it's because he's been around for a good while and he knows everything inside out. He's always got a very smart answer for everything though, is Tony. He once told me not to call him a legend, because apparently that's what you call people when they're dead. But he's now, I'm sure, very happy to present Lucas Hahn with the race-winning trophy in the Chrome class for round number 4. And now we should have the German national anthem for Lucas Hahn. There you go then, the chrome podium. Lucas Hahn joined in good company by Mark Taylor and John Newell, two drivers that really took the fight down to the wire at the end of last season. And we hope for more of the same this time round, actually, that we have a four-way fight minimum going into Harama in October. And now the guys will get to the champagne. Lucas is usually pretty good at opening bottles of champagne. It's funny, we know what a usual performance for some of the drivers is like on track, but we also keep track of how good with bottles of champagne they are as well. Clearly the guys wanted to save some of that for celebrations later and not to spray it all over one another. Let's go through the Chrome Championship results then as they are and see just how things stand leaving Misano. Lucas Hahn on 50 points. I'm sure he'll have a smile on his face like that until we next see him. John Newell on 39 points in second place. He'll be buzzing with that. So will Stefan Kirsch as well in third. Stefan Fass, after a lot of reliability issues last season, will be chuffed with fourth as well. It's going to be quite a positive vibe in the Chrome class leaving here. Mark Taylor on the 26-point score that he probably wanted more of, with Bradley Smith sitting sixth in the championship as well. Jonathan Andre will leave here in seventh, with Luke Garrett in eighth, and Clemens Hecker, probably with the most trying weekend of all, did not start the final race, and neither did Jonathan Andre. So a huge shame to see neither of them taking part in that one. Not quite sure what the issue was with Jonathan, but we will obviously find out a little bit further down the line. Now we have the Young Drivers Ceremony, a podium presentation that we do at the end of the weekend, really celebrating the younger drivers in truck racing and celebrating the up-and-coming talent that is within the paddock. And when we have at least enough of them to do these podium presentations, we like to make sure we give them their moment and obviously show the appreciation for the drivers that put in such a great effort at such a young age as well. But for just a moment, we will wait a second while the trophies are prepared and the drivers will be brought out. And the first of them, Bradley Smith in third. It's been a bit of a demoralising weekend for Bradley. He had such a great performance yesterday. He was disqualified from the second race. Then he got second in class in the first race today, but then shoveled away from the front row of the grid down to sixth in class. It's been very, very trying. Jose Eduardo Rodriguez, always quick, always consistent, but strangely under the radar this weekend. He's usually right up there with his elbows out, but I think that's only because he was overshadowed slightly by this man, Lucas Hahn, doing such a great job collecting bits of silverware on bits of silverware all weekend here in Misano. And we have Andrea Albani, the managing director of Misano World Circuit, to give out the trophies. You can see Bradley happy to receive the trophy, but you know what will be going through his mind is, what can we fix or sort out for Slovakia? Can we finally get some luck on our side? Andrea giving the trophy to Jose Eduardo Rodriguez. And then Lucas Hahn will be your young driver winner of the Misano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli Truck Grand Prix, effectively. Well done to Lucas, well done to his team. And he will be very, very pleased indeed. And there you go, the German national anthem for Lucas Hahn, the winner of the Young Driver competition this weekend here at Misano in the very first round of the 2026 Goodyear FIA European Truck Racing Championship. The three of them take to the top step together, and they all celebrate what has been a great weekend overall. It's been a very busy one. It's been absolutely flat out from the very start. I still have some voiceovers to do later today and do some highlights for you all to go on to international TV in the next couple of days. But we hope you've been enjoying the coverage. It's not over yet, so don't go away. But we hope you've been enjoying the revised package for this year. We're doing our very best to bring you all of the information and entertainment, of course, as well. And I will say thank you and goodbye for now and hand down to Louise, who has some driver interviews for us.
Norby, congratulations, the Goodyear Wingfoot Award. How does that feel for you?
Yeah, very happy about it. So thank you for the fans for voting me. Köszönöm, hogy szavaztatok ránk vagy rám. So yeah, very happy about it.
What does it mean for the fans to vote for you as well?
It's always very nice. If the fans like you, then you are okay. And very happy to receive it. The first to be in track racing history.
Yes.
To receive a Wingfoot award is nice. I'm happy.
Yeah, one for the mantelpiece, absolutely. And you had a bit of trouble earlier, but you came through in the end. So how does it feel for the final race of the weekend?
Yeah, overall good weekend. I think we were really fast. Had some good races. Had some bad luck, with the puncture. But overall happy, leading the championship with a few points. It's okay because I think that's the main thing, that every weekend we gain a little bit and then we should be fine.
Absolutely. Well, massive congratulations. You deserve to go and celebrate. Go and have a lovely time, and well done you. Absolutely. Nice on Norby. Thank you so much. We do have another interview now with Sasha Lenz. I'm just going to go and grab him for us. So we're going to go and have a quick chat with Sasha Lenz. He's coming on in. There he is. He's got lots of people to see, lots of people to chat to. Sasha, how's it going? How do you feel after that?
Ja, eigentlich sehr gut. Wir hatten eigentlich ein Wochenende gehabt mit Höhen und Tiefen. Die Qualifyings habe ich selber immer wieder versaut. Schlechte Runde oder keine saubere Runde gefahren.
Yeah. Are you okay to answer in English? Is that okay?
No, normally not. So I'm only the driver who speaks of German.
Oh, no. Fair enough.
No, the weekend was with ups and downs. Yeah, the qualifyings was sometimes not good. Sometimes I drive not the correct lap.
Yeah.
So the races I can go my seal. I have a good race pace, and on the end from the day I can say it was a nice weekend. A really hot weekend here in Italy, but a really nice weekend.
Absolutely. How are you feeling about the rest of the season ahead?
I don't know. We will see. It was the first race weekend, so you can say nothing. What is coming now in Slovakia Ring, or the next after Slovakia Ring on Nürburgring, my home circuit, and I won't give there the best, but we will see.
We will see. Well, Sasha, congratulations. What a great first race of the weekend as well. First weekend gone. Absolutely smashed it. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. There we have it, an absolutely cracking first weekend, and it's great to see the result. It's great to see the Goodyear Wingfoot Award taking place as well. Absolutely awesome, and I can't wait to see the rest of the season. It's been a very, very hot weekend here in Misano. A few burnt shoulders, I'm sure, but I'm sure there'll be lots of celebration later today. Everyone seems to have had such a great time, so very excited. It's a great setup to see how the rest of it goes, but as you can hear, the trucks are roaring. They're all going back to the paddock to have a little cool down, I can imagine, and it's going to be an exciting week ahead. So we're going to see you again next weekend, which is going to be another corker, I'm sure. I'm Louise Schofield, and we'll catch you next weekend.